Hail Kingdom, it's me Spot the King, and today we will take a look at Outer Worlds 2. But instead of basic boring review, we will try to take a look through the lens of more than 1000 hours experience in Baldur's Gate 3. It's a legendary RPG game at this time already. The game greets us with pretty nice and humorous intro that explains who we are, a member of Earth's Directorate or something like this. Anyway, we are in character creation, so let's see what we can choose. Choose body type 1 or 2. I guess people mad about this, but who cares? There's 10 presets for each of them. We can pick some funny arms, and overall I would say there's nothing crazy in this character creation, but a lot of funny little details. In my opinion, it's more than enough for role-playing. Again, it's an RPG game, we want to role-play here, and I guess we can even role-play as a Joker. Compared to some games, it's not very deep character creation, and while we can easily make some pretty okay-looking character, can we make something silly? Well, to some extent, I would say. Nothing really crazy. Still, you can make pretty silly looking and fun looking character. That game meets us with background choice. And that's actually where a game kinda goes into true RPG road, because these backgrounds actually matters. It's not just random dialogue choices, but for example, if I choose Gambler, there's a bunch of activities that will give me ability to use this Gambler option. It will affect dialogues, some activities in the game, and that's what really fun, I would say, and what really can convince you to replay the game. Maybe you play it as Professor, but next time as Gambler you will choose different options in different areas. More on that later. I definitely want to play as Rustabout someday. And after background we're going into traits. Well, traits is pretty complex stuff. It's not just +5 into some ability, it's actually giving you some interesting perks, and these perks can be used in different cases. Like Brony will give us ability to slide or sprint into enemies and knock them down, with a cooldown of course. Not a big deal, it's just like extra skill, but it also will affect different scenarios and we will be able to use it in some cases. And we actually can pick 2 traits at the same time, but with 2 traits there comes a flaws. There will be more flaws available in the game, but from the start we get choice of 3, one of them of course. After deciding our traits, we can pick our skills. And yeah, there's a lot more of them. They not only giving us ability to have extra stats, for example if we go for guns, well, we get more range damage and more armor penetration, but also they will unlock more perks. More on that later. For now I will show you part of the game in tutorial section without spoiling anything, so let's just go with lockpick, hack and explosives. Since after creating our awesome character, we are choosing our difficulty, jumping straight into an action. And honestly, when it just load up, well, it looks amazing. What I really want when I'm playing RPG games and stuff like that, I want nice, good looking environment. I want to feel like I'm really on a ship, and this actually nails it pretty nicely. This lightning, overall design gives us nice vibes of what's happening and where we actually are. And we are on Incognito ship, that's the name of the ship, there's a little map. But first of all we need to open the door and speak with our friend Niles. I read a bunch of reviews and they was pretty skeptical about dialogues in this game. Like some of descriptions was you kinda speaking with just talking heads. In my opinion, it looks great. We see character, he got some expressions, and honestly, what else you need? You need a little bit of humor sometime, and they actually nailed it. I mean, Obsidian made this game and they nailed it. I like these little humorous parts of dialogues, and I would say every character in this game is like a little skit. It's little funny dialogue with some humor, almost every. And as I told you, if you got some different traits, perks, you can use them in dialogues. For example, we can choose this only because we are dump right now. Right now we're kinda learning our controls, so we can take a look at the ship, but most importantly, that's where actually the game will give you kinda sneak peek in what it actually is. So, what we got over here? We got a locked door. Right behind this door there is our credential, which we need to retrieve basically. And If we picked trait like Brony, for example, I can ungem the door. I can ungem the door if I got engineering skill. So it's pretty easy and straightforward for me. Also, I will get a little bit of experience for this. But what if you don't have these traits? Well, there's always different solutions for different scenarios. We can just go into second room, get a little bit of food and other supplies from here. And most importantly, there's open hatch where we can go, get a little bit of cigarettes, and get inside this room anyway. Get our helmet and credentials. If you want to dive more deeper into the story, you can read these computer terminals. They also unlock some dialogue options from time to time, so it's pretty useful stuff. But again, this was just a little sneak peek, but already we see that every problem will have different solutions, and that's what is great in RPG games. After a few conversations, we're on a planet where we get a little mission. So that's like tutorial level. But even here we will have different options how we can tackle this place. We'll be able even to pick different roads, like going left, going right, or even under the wall facility, since we need to get into final room. And this option diversity is actually what makes RPG games great. Again, as I told you, one of the things is why I like Baldur's Gate 3, for example, is ability to get what you want by following different roads. You can go sneakily from the side, you can go straight into combat and jump through everyone, or you can be smart and actually you can finish some combats just by talking with enemies or turning enemies into your allies. That's all possible solutions in this game. Yeah, you can betray factions, you can side with factions. Even though you start as Archdirectorate, you can side with any faction you like and play as you like. So I opened the door, I spawned some turrets and some robots, it's really dangerous. But what if I don't want to actually fight straight? Well, there's a secret door. Why not open it with Mag Pick, which is basically a lockpick in this game. Since we're approaching combat situations, let's talk about combat and of course stealth. Stealth is pretty basic for a third-person shooter, but I don't know, for me, guys who like stealth playthrough will have everything they want over here. And at the same time, stealth is really powerful in the game. You can hide behind corners, see where enemies is going, they're not looking at you, and you just crawl into nearby spaces. If enemies see you, well, you will see this kind of bar, and if it filled up, well, you're in danger. And everyone knows that stealth is a lot better in third person, because you can see behind the corners. Well, you can actually switch into third person mode in this game. I just did it, but you can't be in the third person mode under the bridge. So that's how it looks like. We can play it third person pretty easily if we want to. And we can peek behind the corners, see where enemies are, and get into different locations. Of course, if I shoot this guy, there will be extra damage and we will easily defeat them in one shot. But stealth doesn't mean that you always destroy everyone in few silent hits. You actually can be sneaky guy who get bunch of useful resources and then sneakily get into dispersal control. Here with the hack skill, at least one, I can use extra items to activate this panel, and what will happen? Well, I will turn off all robots over here. Now this robot is actually friendly, but right now we will split. I chose central dispatch, so we will go into head-on-head combat versus our enemies. That's the idea of this part of the game actually. Luckily we got few gadgets in our hands. One of them is time slowdown, which makes everything move super slow, and we can easily destroy a few targets. Cool part about the game, there is no weight limit, so we can just pick up everything we see. It makes things a lot easier, and honestly, I think every single player funny action shooter game should have this. There's no need for friction in inventory management. It doesn't mean we need to play like a Rambo. We can actually play silently a little bit if we want to. Another fun part of this Rambo style head-to-head combat, well, how you normally play it. You'll probably find some kind of cover, and after hiding behind the cover, you will try to get up, make few shots, get down, stuff like that. I did it, and you know what? That's like the coolest part of the game, I would say. It's little detail, but it's very funny if you like this basic combat style. These covers actually break, so after a few shots of enemies, they will break, and you no longer can hide behind this one. This will force you right inside of combat to reposition, take different covers, and makes basic third-person combat a lot more enjoyable, I would say. And this first like 10-15 minutes of tutorial level of game start is just awesome. Everything looks great. It's interesting to find different ways into different corridors. There's always like a secret door that we can lockpick, some vent or stairs that we can use to silently await our enemies and stuff like that. And there's always a little bit of humor every now and then. For example, right now we need to remove backup power core to silence these TV screens, but we can unlock media port if we get hack option, and instead of turning these screens off, well, we can actually turn on our ads. Yeah, advertisements will run all over the place, so it's pretty funny to distract everyone by running Earth Directorate ads in enemy facility. Anyway, it's time to quickly end tutorial level. As I promised, there will be no spoilers, so after tutorial finished, we got option to respect our character. And it's pretty important one, because it's the last one we will be able to actually respect our character. Since from now on, the choices matter. Every time you pick new flow, which can give you some bonuses but also some penalties, you can't revert them back. So if you want to cut down vendor prices, well, you will sell your items for less. And there's lots of different options and flows that will unlock while you're leveling up. And you definitely know that from now on, choices matter. Let's go to our first planet. Till this point, everything looks just perfect to me. And inability to respect character, while maybe like a problem for some players, I really enjoy it. You need to embrace your choices and have fun with it. It's almost impossible to actually brick your character, I would say. And in case you think you bricked your character, you can go into gameplay options and just lower difficulty. But that's the first problems I see in the game. Let's go into Paradise Island. We're actually going in with companions. They are great, by the way. You can unlock more while you're playing. There's some missable ones. Again, choices matter. But these two guys works very good. This one will be tank or damage dealer, and this is healer. Best party ever. Anyway, after joining Paradise Island, that's where I kinda see problems. So it looks like I'm playing Starfield right now, but there is no brutally ridiculous amount of loading screens. And if we take a look at our ship, well, it looks good, but when I load in these open world games, I won't have same feeling as Elden Ring, even Starfield, you know, Oblivion, when you turn around and you see the big cool world in front of you. Well, there's some cool effects, definitely, but there's like one little problem, I would say. And this problem is, well, everything around us. It looks okay. If you just never take a closer look, well, it looks okayish, maybe fine, I don't know. You can pick better word, but for me, if you just stand still for a few seconds, it looks just like awful or bad, I don't know. Details on this like worm or sea cucumber, I don't know, there's almost no details, no splashes of water, rocks look like plastic, while there's some details like these snails or whatever it is. They all pretty like low quality, and and lightning, I don't know. I don't feel like there's a good lightning, even clouds, you know. Space look not gorgeous, not cool. And this big green mountain, I don't know, something weird with colors. I'm using very high settings almost on everything, and it doesn't matter, it just always look pretty much like this. So that's the moment where magic kinda breaks for me. It looks like a game from, I don't know, 210. It actually looks like, I don't know, Morrowind. Pretty weird, I would say. Does this make game instantly bad? Well, in my opinion, no. Since again, it's RPG game, and most important part is not how it looks, but how it feels, and is it feel fun to make choices, to finish quests and play some quests, and to actually make builds. Yeah, builds is for me one of the most important part of any RPG game. They should be pretty diverse and not straightforward. For example, I don't like when you're playing, let's say, SMG, and to make good build for SMG, well, you go into skills and just pick 20 points in SMG, 20 points in SMG attack speed, and 20 points in SMG critical rate. Yeah, it will be SMG build, but it's just boring way to play. and easy game to balance. This game is pretty hard to balance because this perks gives you a bunch of bonuses in different aspects, and you can make a really diverse and fun character with fun abilities. And that's how it looks like. You're getting skill points every level, but at the same time, every few levels you will get perk points. The maximum level is 30, and you will get 15 perk points total, as well as 58 points in your skills. And total you will get 58 points in your skills and 15 points in your perks. Skills not only give you basic bonuses like damage again, but also will unlock more different perks. Make sure to carefully pick perks also, because Bullet Shield looks like no-brainer, plus 10 damage resistance, plus 10 base health. If you're playing basic boring RPG, well, you instantly pick it, because it's just bonus, but if you read carefully, well, you actually gain a bonus to damage, resistance and maximum health, but enemies are more likely to target you over your companions. So it's not just straightforward perk to pick instantly. You want to pick it if you focus on being tanky while companions doing damage, for example. Since I got at least 1 point in guns or melee, I can use Commander perk, and after using it, it unlocks more perks that will require you to have Commander perk active, and so on and so on. Overall, game gives us right now almost 100 available perks that we can choose from, and this can create insanely different and pretty fun character. Not only the character which can deal, for example, damage, good damage, but also character that can just brute force his way with lies, like charlatan. Many of your lies are more believable, and there's lots of ways where you can actually lie in this game. And if you got high speech ranking, well, you can succeed in these lies more often. You may ask, why would you lie? Like, what's benefit of this? Well, that goes pretty funny in many different situations. For example, we can close door in this shop, and this shopkeeper, Arthur Combi, sees us pretty clearly. Yeah, we are detected. But if I hide behind his back, for example, he does not see me, and I can try to steal everything from his cashier. Or I can try to convince him there's a bunch of spreads in his back room. He will go and try investigate what's going on over there. Because we lied, we can pick everything for free from his shop. Yeah, that's how it works, and it's pretty funny. At the same time, we can actually use sneak attack to try and destroy him in one single hit. And while yes, he is a shopkeeper, actually no one saw what we did, no one saw what we stole, and we are free to go. There's no bounty on our head. That's how a game works, and that's pretty funny RPG stuff. Sadly, there's no shop, because this shop is non-active, since there will be no shopkeeper. And that's another super funny part about this RPG. It's real RPG, you can destroy every NPC, at least I tried, and I erased almost full town before they got me, but again, you can do it. How fun is quests over here? Well, again, they're pretty cool, in my opinion. Some of them basic, some of them not, but most of them is just cool. It's also pretty easy to navigate, you don't need to go into journal and read all this crap, like what you need to do. You can do it if you wish to, but you can just pick quests on your map. For example, you can go into region, see that there's some quest over here, set active, and that's it. And as you can see, there's cool stuff like this helmet and card we just got. Cards give permanent bonuses, and again, it was just some random fiddlesticks in a field, but these fiddlesticks got Battle Helm of Tirobane. Legendary helmet, pretty fun one. And if I stand still, I'm unnoticeable by anyone, so they cannot see me. However, it changes how game looks a little bit of Kingdom Come 1 vibes over here. And there's loads of little funny like weapons and armors that change how game look if you investigate throughout all the stuff. And I picked this quest just to show you how funny it is. Again, there's a platform. We can actually activate this platform if we got engineer skill, but I don't have it right now on this character, so it's stuck. But I can jump on this platform by following a road to the left. So now I'm upstairs, and now there will be a bunch of guys over there who try to learn how to fly. Well, it's fantasy game, but people here doesn't fly too good. He definitely is too young to be a creator in the dirt, but well, he is actually a creator in the dirt. We got pale, it's just passive stuff, but this unlocks double jump. Yeah, So that's why exploration in this game actually rewards you. Yeah, and it's super important in my opinion when exploration is rewarded. Again, for example, in Baldur's Gate 3, if you explore different dungeons, you more likely will find some funny items or even insanely overpowered unique stuff. And there's loads of open world games that does not have the same stuff. For example, Dragon's Dogma 2. In my opinion, it's insanely beautiful and cool game idea base. Idea is great and gameplay is pretty fun, but exploration is as boring as it could get, because every time you go into some dungeons, you never will find anything cool. You will find only stuff that is already available to you at vendor shops, beside maybe Gorgona Head or something like this. While in this game, everywhere you will go, everywhere you will fulfill some quests, you will find something cool, funny, interesting to use and maybe have fun with. We finished quest, we get better reputation with this faction, but not with this guy, sadly, and not with this guy, sadly. There's 2 less NPCs in this game. It doesn't work on our companions, but who cares? Also, there's fast travel almost in any location we will find. We can just instantly teleport to, which again makes exploration a lot more fun. There is no like useless backtracking if you don't want to. If you want to, you always can backtrack and try to find some interesting stuff, but some areas is just empty, like this road, for example. There is no enemies, nothing really like fun, like caves, dungeons, just few spots and that's it. So why would I backtrack over here? There's completely zero reason after traveling this road at least once. So technically I showed you everything you need to know about this game. And compared to experience in games like Baldur's Gate 3, which is definitely RPG of the year, this game got loads of flaws, but it's still pretty cool RPG game. So my final thoughts is it's definitely worth at least trying if you like games like Fallout, like Oblivion, Skyrim and stuff like that. It's just good first-person RPG game with nice humor, nice story, pretty basic but fun story, and diverse and interesting build making and exploration. You can just jump through the game oh no, not what was planned, but as I told you, you can jump through the game. Or you can be sneaky and smart and use all tools available to you, and even if you're detected, you can still steal everything you want. For example, by using this helmet, you just activate it and you will be invisible. So you can steal everything in front of every person you will find in the game. And that's only one example of how you can use your imagination to beat obstacles in the game. But again, there is a little problem, there is no respect. So if you make choices that is actually bad choices, well, you need to live with them. And if you want really powerful builds in this game, well, I'm build channel, so you can see bunch of Outer Worlds 2 builds almost for any playstyle you wish over here on the screen right now. So pick build you like and see you in the next ones.